Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our impromptu office hours. So I know it's not at all on our normal schedule, but we have lots of important stuff to talk about, and it's on a timeline crunch. So this session is dedicated to speaking at DevCon. We are doing DevCon in January. I'll get to some logistics in just a second. And we're looking for more speakers. And we really want about half of the content to come from our community. So we need you guys to submit your papers, share your expertise and experience. We are joined by a couple alfrescans and someone from the Order of the Beast. So I'll let everybody introduce themselves if you want to pass it around.
Okay, we'll start because I'm the first in the line. So I'm Francesco Corti. Hi, guys. I'm a product evangelist for Alfresco and looking forward to meet you at DevCon. Richard, are you next?
Okay, I'm Richard Esplin. I am a product manager at Alfresco, and I get to be on the selection committee along with Angel for DevCon. And so I pitch in. I'm excited to review all the submissions and encouraging people to join. So,
yeah,
go ahead, Angel.
I'm Angel Borroy. I am member of the Order of the, and I'm collaborating with Richard on that submission review. And really, we wait for your submission, because this year there are high level submissions, but we want even more. So let's go.
Perfect. All right, so I'm going to start by, we have a quick presentation on DevCon, just to give you guys an overview. Our full website should be out, fingers crossed, next week for the full website with more details. So I'm going to go over some things you may not know yet. All right, so I'm going to screen share. You guys let me know when you see my screen.
Yes, now we can see it.
Presentation mode. You guys see it? Okay. So
Yes.
DevCon 2018, yay. DevCon is going to be January 16th, 17th, and 18th of 2018. January 16th is going to be an optional day. We're going to have our hackathon all day, and we also have two different trainings. One will be a free training for intro to APS and ACS with a little ADF thrown in there. And then we will have also some training around certification. So if you're interested in becoming a certified engineer for APS or ACS, we're going to have two sessions for that. Now the 17th and 18th, the Wednesday and Thursday, will be full days of sessions and then social events in the evening. We are hosting DevCon in Lisbon, Portugal. We've reserved a conference center at the Museum of the Orient. It is a facility that has an auditorium and then some classroom style smaller rooms, as well as an exhibition hall and a space for lunch. So we'll be pretty much self-contained in our own area. DevCon is going to have, those two days of sessions are going to have a couple different types of content. One are our full sessions. Those are 30-minute sessions. We also have extended sessions if you need a little more time, which are going to be 45 minutes. We're going to have lightning talks, which are 5-minute presentations, and they're in a style that's called Ignite, where the slides are auto-advancing every 20 seconds. So it's really fast-paced and really engaging. We're also going to do our Birds of a Feather sessions, which are informal gatherings of people that want to talk about the same topic type. So there'll be a leader who may be an expert in that area or may have worked in that area, and then they'll kind of facilitate the conversation, but it's really just come unprepared, essentially, and have a conversation. We will have panels with some of our engineering team. We will have keynotes from the community as well as Alfresco. There again, there's training in the hackathon. We're also going to do some engineering one-to-ones, and these are going to be a place where you can sign up to have a one-on-one conversation with someone from our engineering team for a set period of time. The content in DevCon is technical. This is not a marketing or sales conference. This is all about developers. This is all about our technical audience, our developers, our DevOps, our sysadmins, architects. They may be community edition users. They may be our customers. They may be partners. They could be people who are interested in trying Alfresco for the first time or possibly upgrading to Alfresco Enterprise. It's going to be a broad variety of people with a broad variety of experience with our software. We're looking to have about 50 speakers. And the content can be anything in our platform, the digital business platform. Alfresco activity, APS, ACS. You can talk about search. You can talk about analytics, governance services. It's a lot of different areas to touch on. In addition to Alfresco software, we also want to cover other areas that you might be interested in, right? Where do you see the industry moving? What technology is going to be important to you in the next year? What do you need to learn about to continue to use Alfresco and to be prepared for future releases? And just as the industry moves, what should you be learning as well?
Can we ask questions as you go along?
Yeah, sure.
Will there be, you mentioned the one-on-one sessions. Are we including Alfresco who are not part of the Alfresco engineering team?
You know, we certainly could ask people if they want some one-on-one time, if they want to sign up for it. Our thoughts had been let the community talk to internal folks, like in a one-on-one conversation. But if other experts in the community want to sign up to have one-on-one conversations, I can't imagine that would be unpopular.
Nudge, nudge, Angel.
Yeah. Yeah, so we could definitely make that an option.
We could start also to define some polls, also to have some opinion from the people from the ground. So let me say, this is a good point, Richard. If someone would be interested also to talk with someone specifically, probably could be an idea also to discuss together. So let us know.
I actually will put something up today. So we have a space in the Jive community, our community that's for DevCon. So I'll put some content in there around what topics would you like to see, anything in particular you want to hear about, anyone in particular you want to hear from. You know, the usual suspects will be there, right? We'll have John Newton, we'll have Thomas DeMeo, we'll have a lot of our team that will be able to do the vision of the company, the roadmap of the products, and then specific roadmaps from product owners and things like that. So let's move on to what we need from you guys, though.
And that's where we also plan to put up a poll to find out what you want to discuss in Bird of a Feather sessions.
For sure. So what we need from you guys are basically 3 types of content: the full sessions, the extended sessions, and lightning talks. This the space we have selected has a good number of rooms, so we have the ability to have more tracks than we've had in the past. So we could have a 3-track session, essentially, where you have the auditorium and then 2 classroom style rooms. So what we need, I think there's potential for 9 45-minute talks, 24 full sessions, and then 30 some lightning talks. So there's a lot of content we can have in there. Everything is going to go through the service we have called PaperCall. It's very similar, if you've submitted in the past, to just the Google Doc, where you have your title, your elevator pitch, which is your short synopsis of what you're going to be speaking on to engage people, and then a bigger description of what you'll cover, and then your session type: full, extended, lightning talk. Now, who decides what's going to be at DevCon? We have a selection committee. So we have 3 Alfrescans on the board of this committee, and then 2 of our Order of the Bee members, and that is just to ensure that the content, you know, stays relevant to what our community wants, our whole developer ecosystem is interested in learning about. Francesco and Richard have offered to review any proposals you might have. So if you have a topic in mind and you're not sure if it's the right audience or the right content, you can reach out to either one of them. And I'm sure I'm going to volunteer Angel for that as well. If you can probably ping him, he could tell you what's going to be popular. So you also can review the. We loved both BCons that we attended. We thought those were fantastic, and we're really taking a lot of cues from that around designing our content and figuring out what we want to present and how we want to present it. So if you want to look at the sessions that were the last 2 BCons, that's a great place to start for the type of content that people are interested in. All right. So here we are with determining your content. Either any of you guys want to take this one?
Yeah, that's fine. I can start, and Angel and Richard, please feel free to stop me and have a discussion on this. So,
but Krista needs to click on the slide so it keeps showing while you talk.
Oh, you don't see it? Hang on. What do you see now is the...
If you select it, I think everyone... Yeah.
Hang on. I've got it as... Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's fine. You can...
Wait, so what do we see now?
I see...
I see my whole
you can launch the presentation.
I think Chris needs to talk, or if we only see Francesco when he's talking. We don't see the slide.
Okay, let me mute myself then, and let's see what happens. Oh, no, how does that work? Present. I just need to present myself. I'll make me the presenter. How about that?
Yeah.
Am I still the presenter?
Go ahead, Francesco.
All right, go ahead.
If you want, Kristen, if you is not a problem, you can show your screen. You can show the slide. We'll talk on your slides, and I will tell you when to move because we have very few slides, so it's not a big deal. If you agree, of course. So we were saying that the technical. So for us, the relevant audience is the technical guys. So are you a developer? Are you a DevOps? Are you an architect? Also, if you are a skilled sysadmin or DBA, could be interesting to show your experience, of course, related to Alfresco. And we talk about content services, ADF, the SDK, the entire digital business platform. But of course, also, if you want to show something cool that you experimented as an experimentation, again, could be nice to have you presenting your experience, because in our opinion the goal is to share technical stuff and technical solution to the other experience or newbie on Alfresco. If so if you have also external integration on something that is outside Alfresco that you integrated with successfully with your Alfresco solution, so using ADF, for example, using content services, using process services, could be really valuable for you and the other people to see something impractical. Of course, the things that you should have in mind thinking to a contribution and a talk is of course what is the current state of the art of the technology, but also the future trends. So something that will happen soon. For example, we are very excited to understand about containerization, about DevOps application, and so on. We are aware about some Ansible experimentation or stuff like that.
Other useful adjacent technologies include Postgres, Angular. You already mentioned containers, MySQL, Linux system administration or Windows system administration. Cloud technologies like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud.
We do Elasticsearch and
technologies.
Yeah, and stuff like also Elasticsearch experimentation can be really nice to see. Yeah, and see.
And to Francesco's other point, we need lots of newbie tech content. So you don't have. It's great that we have so many experts that are willing to present, but you don't have to be an expert. If you have gotten through the intro to the developer framework, then you can probably share what you learned there with others.
Yes, and we will see in the next slide, but of course, again, we would like to underline that our target is technical audience. So talking to technical people about technical stuff. I think we can go ahead, Kristen, with the attendees. So probably you recognize some of the guys here, but the DevCon attendees are mainly technical people, and we are interested to target, for example, the IT manager, that of course could be enterprise architect, or project manager, or solution architect. There is always interest about new features, about the roadmap inside the entire digital business platform. Of course, networking with other teams and other experienced partner, customer, or tech enthusiast in Alfresco technology, and discuss about integration. People very expert inside the Alfresco technology, that could be lead consultant or freelancer in general. They would love to share their knowledge or to understand how to contribute back to Alfresco technology, and of course be informed about the roadmap, but also the latest enhancement inside the platform. And seeing people like the Alfresco engineer talking about the latest enhancement is of course a relevant topic, but a relevant contribution, but of course seeing other experts talking about stuff. The next personas we have in mind is the new developer. We didn't think about a phase for the new developer, probably because it's new. And we have in mind lead developer or people experiencing other technology that would like to understand more and to touch for the very first time the alfresco technology, and so, for example, learn from the other expert or from an engineer hacking some code during the hackathon and at day zero, or during the session, seeing practice how to create the stuff, so how the integration and the components work. Of course, learn best practices and tips and tricks. Of course, networking is always relevant. DevOps and system administrator wants to learn, of course, the best practices on architecture, how to scale, and of course, learn from other alfrescans. I think we can move on the next slide. So let's be a little bit practical. Which are the tips that we can share for your best submission, of course. In the past, and Angel can confirm also at the DevCon, probably the what's new at your environment and alfresco component is not the best speech and content to follow. Instead of this, all the use cases are really interesting, but of course, if we have a very practical and technical point of view. So let me share with you, for example, what happened a few days ago about one possible submission. I have been contacted from one guy that told me, hey, Francesco, I would like to show my solution on top of Alfresco. This is great, and could be great if you can talk and explain how you did some technical, how you did some technical solution, with how it works, the integration, and hopefully it will be also shared in a public repository on GitHub or somewhere else. Best practices, tips, and suggestion on technology configuration components are always a good stuff to see. Again, as I was saying in advance, experimentation on existing components together with new services or new components. We have seen at the hackathon a bunch of really nice solutions. I remember, for example, some face recognition and other integration. For example, it's quite famous, our integration with Alexa and stuff like that. Please have in mind your audience. It's very good to have in mind the new developer. If you have newbie in your mind, it's very good if you have in mind an intermediate expert on process services, on content services, or on both. It's good if you have in mind an expert, but the suggestion is to have clear in mind who are you talking to. I think that's all. Do you have feedback, guys, from the content and the topics?
As Kristen said, I'm definitely happy to review or discuss any submission proposals that people want. Don't feel like you have to have approval from anybody in order to submit. Go ahead and submit. But if you have questions before or after you submit, if you want to amend your submission, reach out to us and we can help you do that.
Yes.
So, go ahead, Angel.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Francesco. Also, from past years, we have some use cases that they were not really so technical, but they were very, very relevant for the people because Alfresco can be used in many, many different ways. So just to discover how Alfresco can be applied to any other scenarios is also reachful. So if you are not a developer, you are a manager, or you are any other kind of user of Alfresco, you are also welcome to the conference, and we are going to learn a lot from you. And also want to share with you some inspiration from last years. So let me share some topics from the last beacons. So you can see like this is from 2016, and we can see like this year Alfresco was very relevant, but also use cases were very relevant topic. Scaling testing are always, we are always talking about scaling, and also we need to talk about testing, because we talk about testing few. we need more of this presentation. Installing always Docker are always recurrent topics that we need to talk about. Developing database classification, backup, analytics is also one of in Amazon. So you can see like this is a very rich catalog. Also from last year, we can see like supporting and community administering the Alfresco SDK. Also this nice contribution from Odoo community. ADF started to appear in this year. Also activity, we need more activity contributions to our conference, and upgrading again, and also record management, which is also used by many people. And Solar, and this year Solar will be especially relevant because we have this new search service based on Solar 6. So we need to talk about these new features, and we need to talk about your experimentation with this new feature. So you have these two topics panel where you can find your inspiration, and also as Francesco and Richard, I'm available for your questions, and just to help with that submission process. Contact with me. I'm also having the same availability.
And if you go back to the word cloud, I should clarify that Angel, if you go back to the word cloud, I should clarify the John Newton label are not talks about John Newton. They're talks given by John Newton.
No problem. We can talk also about John Newton. It will be also. I will attend this.
Absolutely. I should. Perhaps it's worth mentioning. Once you give your submission, we'll discuss it and decide whether it's a clearly in or clearly out or a wait list. Then there's a good chance we're going to go back to the people who are accepted and ask for give advice, suggestions, maybe ask for changes. Sometimes we combine two talks, similar presenters. Sometimes we say, hey, this topic's great, but you should talk to this member of the engineering team to incorporate some of the roadmap. So we do expect some of that. And when you do eventually prepare your slides, we'll give you some feedback on those slides as well. So you're not just, if you're a new speaker, you've never given a talk before and you're nervous, we will give you some assistance to help you be well prepared and give a good talk.
And I think
just to add that, go ahead. Please go ahead, please.
I was just going to say, if you're nervous about presenting, the layout of the space is very friendly to this. It's very classroom style. The two of the rooms are. So it's less of you on a stage in front of a big group and more of you at a desk with your stuff, with people, and tables and whatnot. So it's a little, I feel like the atmosphere is a little less intimidating than it could be.
Just a couple of additions, and again, feel free to raise questions if you have, because we are here also to have an interactive exchange. I would like to remind that there are three formula for this submission. So you can talk for the 45 minutes talk. Of course, we will accept a bunch of talks of 45 minutes because it's a longest format for us, at least. We will accept the full talk that is 30 minutes, that is the regular one, but it's your first time. So if it is your first time and you want to, and you feel a little bit nervous to talk for 30 minutes in public, you can choose for the lighting talk the 5 minutes that is extremely easy also to face. Do you agree?
Francisco. You are right.
No.
Probably Lightning is the most difficult format for a new.
I think the same thing. I think the same thing. I'm like, you got to be on your game. It's every 20 seconds.
So you're not encouraging the newbies in talking, guys.
To be fair, we all did one, right? It's totally doable, and you can rehearse a 5-minute talk a lot. So you can basically like have that thing memorized and get through it. Where you can't really do that in 30 minutes.
So how can you invite the new people on the stage? That's to say that there is lots of adrenaline. What would you suggest?
They're fun. To be honest, they're fun. They're not too deep. You can't go so deep in 5 minutes. You know, so you can get like people use that opportunity to get quick tips out. You can be clever, but it also, you know.
The other good news about a lightning talk is that it's very natural to read the entire thing. A 30-minute talk, if you're reading the entire thing, gets a little painful for the audience. But a lightning talk, you can read the whole thing. So even some presenters who struggle with English, they can stand up there and give a lightning talk, and people still get a lot of benefit. So,
and also there were a few sessions with a hands-on format that people can take the laptop and make some practice during the session. So this is also, and you can submit a full session or a regular one, and just indicate that it's a hands-on session, and it's nice. We can also provide this kind of session.
Absolutely, those were some of the best ones last year.
Okay, Richard, are you going to submit something? Please don't tell what, or are you going to submit, or did you submit something?
So I'm sorry to admit that I haven't submitted yet. So I'm in the same category I've got 5 topics that I'm going to get submitted, and I'm going to do it this afternoon. I'm going to get them in. I've got a lightning talk. I'm a little nervous because I was really proud of last year's lightning talks, but I think I have an idea that could rival last year's. And then I cheat a little bit when I say 5 though, because I'm also submitting John Newton's and Thomas DeMeo's in the engineering panels. So, but I've got a full session of my own to get in there.
Angel, what about you?
Yeah, I have two submissions this year, so I hope just one of them to be accepted. Obviously, I will not be involved in that kind of decision. I'll be out of my own talks, and also Richard and also the other members of the committee. This is the right choice. But I thinking also about a lightning talk, because really it's very
because it's easy,
very fun. No, it's easy. It's fun.
Super easy.
And I have some. I saw last year Richard lining about elephants and that kind of things, and yeah, I think I can make something like this, because I enjoy it very much.
Kristen, do you plan to submit something, or did you submitted something?
I haven't submitted anything yet. I feel like I probably will put something together around the state of the community. I feel like it's good to update people on where we are as far as like our growth in the last year. We got a Francesco. You know, we got a lot of things happen in the last year. So there's a lot of effort being put towards our developer community, our technical community. So I'll probably do something on that, and it will be light and talk, because y'all don't want 30 minutes of,
because it's easy.
Because it's super easy. There's no, so submitting, you have until the 23rd. That is a week from yesterday. So Monday, a week from today, get your papers in. There are links on devcon.alfresco.com. It is pretty sneaky in the bottom. It just says submit your talk. You also can find it on the community. We've been tweeting it. If you can't find it, you probably can Google it. It's paper call. Anyway, if you can't find it, let us know. If you have questions about what to submit, again, we're here to help evaluate and help you submit things. Yeah. Oh, you get a free ticket. You get a free ticket also if you have a full session. Full or extended talks get a complimentary ticket to DevCon.
And we should say, emailing questions, community@alfresco.com will get to us. You can also post in at community.alfresco.com in the social community in Jive. And that's another good way to have a public conversation.
Yep.
Yep. And don't hesitate if you feel like it's not polished enough. Just submit anyway to get it in before the deadline. You will have an opportunity to polish after the submission. If it's a good idea, you'll get the opportunity to finalize things before it goes on the website.
All right, guys, we're at the top of the hour. Thank you, Angel, for joining us. And again, we're all here if you have questions. We cannot wait to see what you're going to submit for DevCon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.